Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and friends of Georgia Military College from around the state of Georgia, and Fayette, Fulton, DeKalb, Pike, and surrounding counties. Valued members of the news and media outlets here today, and most notably, to the family members and friends of our graduating students from the class of 2021. Well, good evening to everyone present here tonight at the Brightmoor Southern Ground Amphitheater, and to everyone watching online. It's great to have you with us, and welcome to Georgia Military College's 2021 commencement ceremony, where tonight we're going to honor 227 participating students from the over 385 confirmed graduates to date this year from the class of 2021 in the Atlanta Metropolitan region. And these participating students tonight represent the 4 GMC campuses in what we call the Atlanta Metropolitan region. We have 139 students from the GMC Fairburn campus, 56 students from the GMC Fayetteville campus, 25 students from the GMC Stone Mountain campus, and 7 students from the GMC Zebulon campus in Pike County. Well, good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Brigadier General Rock Donahue, and I have the distinct privilege of serving as the Executive Director of GMC's Atlanta Metropolitan region, including GMC's Fayetteville, Fairburn, Stone Mountain, and Zebulon campuses, and I am indeed honored to serve as your Master of Ceremonies. We know in the good book that to everything there's a season and a time to every purpose. We are indeed in a season of reflection and celebration, and tonight is a time for recognizing student success and achievement and honoring academic excellence. As indicated in your program, these remarkable graduating students represent a wonderful demographic of men and women who pursue GMC's character-based education to develop their intellect while elevating their character, all inherent in Georgia Military College's mission statement and consistent with our President's Vision 2029 for GMC to be nationally recognized as a leader in providing character-based higher education, improving students' personal well-being, and giving them hope for a brighter future. We're very proud of our graduates, many of whom are first-generation college graduates. Many here tonight are dual enrollment high school students receiving a GMC associate degree at the very same time they've received their high school diploma. Other students are veterans or family members of veterans. Some of our graduating students tonight were homeschooled. Others come from traditional high schools or are transfer students from another college. In addition to their traditional cap and gown, many of our graduates tonight are going to be wearing distinctive stoles and various colors of cords throughout the ceremony. Please reference your program once again and the page titled Academic Citations for Scholarly Achievement for a complete description and criteria for all of the various distinctions. A lot of colored cords tonight. I want you to know what all those stoles and cords mean. It's all defined here and described in our program. Please also note that each graduating student is listed in the program by their degree earned with their distinctions and campus designation in parentheses to the right of their name. So by degree and alphabetical by last name. And while most of our graduates today earned an associate's degree, you'll note in your program at the very last page that 5 of our graduates, 4 of whom are going to be recognized this evening, earned their Bachelor of Applied Science degree, a BAS degree. 3 from the Fairburn campus, Tyrone Stevens, BS degree in Supervision and Management, Katarina Gurnia, again a BS degree in Supply Chain Management and Logistics, and Tamara Spell, again BS degree in Supply Chain Management and Logistics. How about a hand for those 3 students? From the GMC Zebulon campus, Desmond Janella Wilkins earned a Bachelor of Applied Science degree in Business Management. And finally, Thin Din Huang from the Stone Mountain campus earned a Bachelor of Applied Science degree in Supply Chain Management and Logistics. Congratulations. These students, ladies and gentlemen, are only the third cohort of GMC graduates here in the Atlanta Metropolitan region to earn their Bachelor of Applied Science degrees. That's an incredible accomplishment. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, before we proceed with our ceremony, please also note in your program that our commencement ceremony this evening is live streamed from GMC Fayetteville Facebook page at the depicted web address on the back cover of your program. Okay, the back cover. So we're live streaming here tonight. Lastly, and perhaps most importantly, please note on the inside cover of your program that tonight's event is dedicated to Officer Armando Mendoza of the Clayton County Police Department. Many of you know that Armando was an alumnus from the GMC Fayetteville campus class of 2018. Armando died on April 19th of this year when his patrol car was hit. His celebration of life service was held at the Light of Joy Church in Riverdale on April 26th. A magnificent celebration of life. It's been said that the test of a first-rate work is that you finish it. I can assure you, ladies and gentlemen, Armando Mendoza was a man of character and a man of strength who indeed finished his first-rate work here on earth. We miss Armando dearly and we cherish his memory. Armando's parents, his mother Bianca and his father Robert, are here with us tonight. Bianca, Robert. Thank you very much for being here this evening. Thank you. Tonight we also remember former GMC student from the Stone Mountain campus. He was a veteran student, Jari Morris, who was the victim of a deadly shooting in a residential area of DeKalb County last December. Tonight, Jari will be posthumously awarded an Associate of Science degree in General Studies, and his mother, Jeanette Morris, will accept the degree. Although words, however kind, cannot heal the heartache in the Mendoza and Morris families, we do sincerely pray that tonight's ceremony will assure them that our collective thoughts and prayers are with them all during this very difficult time, and that we share their grief, and we wish them peace and the courage to face the days ahead. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the Processional of Georgia Military College faculty and graduating students, and please remain standing for the presentation of colors by the Honor Guard of the Fayette County Sheriff's Office, the singing of our national anthem by former GMC Zebulon student Luke Morgan, GMC class of 2020, and the invocation given by United States Marine Corps Gunnery Sergeant retired Antonio Cummings, a former senior enrollment officer at the GMC Fayetteville campus, and now the long-serving Chief Apostle of the Kingdom Life Center here in Fayetteville.
All uniform personnel, present all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good evening, graduates. Good evening, family. Good evening, friends. Before I pray, I'm just reminded of the word in the Bible in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 18. It says, in everything we are to give thanks. Everything give thanks. Thanks for the day. Thanks for the morning. Thanks for this good weather. And thanks for this great opportunity to see you graduate from Georgia Military College. That's right, you can clap. Let's pray. Father, we thank you this evening. We give you glory, we give you honor, and we bless your name. You are the sovereign God. That means you can do whatever you want without our permission. So tonight we submit to whatever you want to do here in this ceremony, as we are thankful for an opportunity to be here. Thankful to say, I am going to graduate. Thankful to all of the graduates. Thankful to the family, the friends that come from far and near to be here to help celebrate these graduates. Thankful to the institution, Georgia Military College, the faculty, the staff, that were here to help the students along their way. Thankful for this great weather. We have so much to be thankful for. 2021 was a year that goes down in the history books. Through challenges, through obstacles, we're thankful. Through hurt, through pain, we're thankful. Late nights of studying, yes, we are thankful. So now let us recognize and be ever so grateful for this moment that we all can say thanks. Father, we glorify you and we give you praise. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, Antonio, and thank you to the Fayette County Sheriff's Office Honor Guard. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. As our program indicates, at this time we're going to recognize our Atlanta Metropolitan Region educators, adjunct educators, and Employee of the Year for academic year 2020 to 2021. These award winners are listed in your program, and most of them are seated here on stage. They are consummate professionals and esteemed colleagues and educators, employees and team members, and remarkable servant leaders of character with intense dedication to ensuring student success and accomplishing the GMC mission. Moreover, ladies and gentlemen, all of these award winners tonight embody the enduring values and ideals essential to GMC's character-based education, and they shine brightly, very brightly, in a constellation of exceedingly talented faculty and staff at the Fayetteville, Fairburn, Stone Mountain, and Zebulon campuses, and throughout Georgia Military College. At this time, I'm going to invite our academic deans for the Fayetteville and Fairburn campuses, Dr. Josiah Pomosier, representing the Fayetteville and Zebulon campuses, and Tariq Johnson, representing the Fairburn and Stone Mountain campuses. If you join me by the table, gentlemen. Our first category is the Atlanta Metropolitan Region Educators of the Year. Now, our first recipient, representing the GMC Fayetteville and Zebulon campuses, is Dr. Tracy Makeley. And Dr. Makeley is not here tonight. She did such a magnificent job, she took up a position at our main campus in Milledgeville. So she is now the GMC Director of Institutional Effectiveness. But Dr. Pomosier tonight is going to accept, as each one of these recipients will receive, a very nice certificate from the President of Georgia Military College, Lieutenant General William B. Caldwell IV, and also signed by GMC Senior Vice President Dr. Susan Isaac, who is our Chief Academic Officer and Dean of Faculty. They also receive a GMC coin, and what they're probably most excited about is an envelope with a check. Okay? So first, we're going to recognize Dr. Tracy Makeley. I'm going to present that to Dr. Pomosier, and then I'm going to ask Dr. Matthew Maestas to come up and be recognized as the Educator of the Year for our GMC Fairburn and Stone Mountain campuses. A big hand for these two educators up here. Our next category is the Atlanta Metropolitan Region Adjunct Educators of the Year. So Dr. Makeley and Dr. Maestas are part of our full-time faculty team here in the Atlanta Metropolitan Region. 11 full-time faculty representing the Fairburn and Stone Mountain campuses, and 7 full-time faculty representing the Fayetteville and Zebulon campuses. Now, our adjunct faculty, there are literally hundreds of adjunct faculty who serve at all of our campuses throughout the academic year. And several of these tremendous educators teach at multiple campuses. So every year, we not only recognize our Educators of the Year from our full-time faculty, but we also recognize our adjunct Educator of the Year. So tonight we're going to recognize 2. The Adjunct Educator of the Year, representing the GMC Fayetteville and Zebulon campuses, and also the Georgia Military Junior College institutional winner from the entire college, Mr. Malari Kese. The Adjunct Professor and Educator of the Year, representing the GMC Fairburn and Stone Mountain campuses, Miss Mona Swallow. Our next category is the Atlanta Metropolitan Region Employee of the Year. The Employee of the Year is recognized as the outstanding team member, the outstanding staff member throughout the entire region. That individual is selected, nominated, and that individual competes with other nominees from the entire college. This year's Employee of the Year for 2020 to 2021 is Miss Teresa Gillette. This concludes our ceremony. That was tremendous. Okay, so Teresa is a GMC alumnus from the class of 2003. She's a long-serving part-time library assistant at the Fairburn campus for 10 years, and then the full-time library associate for 5 years. And since September of last year, 2020, she has served remarkably as the regional library associate, the first regional library associate in all of Georgia Military College, where she oversees all library services for the Fairburn, Fayetteville, Stone Mountain, and Zebulon campuses. She's an inspired servant leader of character, a distinguished role model, a consummate team player with singularly exceptional job performance, and an esteemed reputation for excellence. Teresa Gillette. That's awesome. Thank you for joining me in that applause. Our next category, ladies and gentlemen, are the distinguished graduating students for 2020 to 2021. Now, our academic deans are going to each come to the podium in addition to our directors of our Stone Mountain and Zebulon Extension Center. So we're going to recognize the distinguished graduating student from each of those campuses. Now, that distinguished graduating student, again, has got to have a high academic standing, but also be well respected amongst their peers, be involved in student clubs and activities in the community, and so forth. So in order, we're going to recognize the distinguished graduating student from the Fairburn, then the Fayetteville, then Stone Mountain, and then Zebulon campuses. So first, I'm going to introduce Mr. Tariq Johnson, who's our academic dean at the Fairburn campus.
All right, good afternoon. Okay, I see a lot of y'all getting nervous. This is not class. I'm not going to be long. But I've had a lot of you, and honestly, it is my honor and privilege to get to introduce this year's distinguished graduate. But before I do, I want to say congratulations to each and every one of you. Again, I've had a lot of you. I know how hard you worked, and you have earned this through a pandemic and everything else. Congratulations. Okay. Since a lot of you are in my class, you'll recognize this statement. I do not give extra credit, allow resubmissions, give retests, etc. Late work will not be accepted. Late work will not be accepted. Late work will not be accepted. And I expect and require your best effort the first time, every time. Well, the Fairburn campus distinguished graduate, Jari Anderson, did just that. Understand that not only did he earn an A in my class, he earned an A in most of his classes. And when I spoke about to other professors about him, well, their first comments were, he's a hard worker, he's a grade hawk, he must live in Moodle because every time you put a grade in the grade book, he will call to ask what he did wrong, what he needs to correct, how he can do it better. And today, Jari will graduate cum laude. And he did it in 6 quarters, ladies and gentlemen. As a person who graduated, thank you, Lordy, over blah, blah, blah many years we're not going to talk about, that's an amazing feat. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating the 2021 Atlanta Metropolitan Region Fairburn Campus Distinguished Graduate, Jari Anderson.
All right, good evening. How's everyone doing? All right, good to see everyone today. So, in introducing GMC Fayetteville's 2021 Distinguished Graduating Student, it begins with a little bit of a story here. It starts with a man who migrated to the Atlanta, Georgia area from Mexico several decades ago, taking on a job eventually in the construction industry. He was eventually assigned to a construction site that was directly across the street from a very well-known and prestigious university that we often refer to as Georgia Tech. And the man observed the activity, the energy of this bustling campus, Georgia Tech. He later learned about its world-class, first-class reputation in terms of being a leader in higher education. And he told himself, one day my child will go to Georgia Tech. As it turned out, this man did have a son later on. His son, this young man, turned out to be a very intelligent and bright young student. In October of 2018, he embraced the vision of starting here at GMC and going anywhere, and he enrolled in classes as a 9th grader here at the GMC Fayetteville campus, of course as a dual enrollment student. The first couple of terms were kind of rough for this particular young man as a 9th grader at a college campus. However, with the support of his family, as well as the GMC faculty and staff, he was able to eventually adjust. He began excelling in his classes, and he decided to become involved in student organizations. For example, he joined the Science Club, the Environmental Action Club. He later became a student ambassador at the GMC Fayetteville campus, and also a member of the Student Honor Council. And then he also joined and became an active member in the Phi Theta Kappa chapter of GMC Fayetteville Zebulon, the International Honor Society, as well as a 2-time member of the GMC Fayetteville Ethics Bowl team, in addition to later serving as a member of the Student Senate. Now, he did this all while achieving a 3.9 GPA, and somehow he found a way to squeeze in an additional 100 plus community service hours in order to earn the GMC Distinguished Order of Servant Leader Award, which is normally given to individuals who are contributing members of their society, as all educated individuals should do. Needless to say, his father and his mother are exceedingly proud of him, as are we here at the GMC campus. Several months ago, his father's vision was fulfilled when this young man was not only accepted to Georgia Tech, but also earned a full ride scholarship. So this young man, this year's 2021 Fayetteville Distinguished Graduating Student, is none other than our own Edwin Hernandez.
Good evening, everyone. Our distinguishing graduate this year for our Stone Mountain campus is Mr. Jeffrey Jackson II. Jeffrey was accepted into our dual enrollment program in 2019 and has since been steadily and consistently working towards an Associate of Science degree in General Studies. As our youngest graduate this year, Jeffrey still has another year left of high school. Please join me in congratulating Jeffrey Jackson II.
Good evening, everyone. The distinguished graduate for Team Zebulon this year is Mr. Matthew N Lasseter. While Matt makes his way down here, I'm going to brag on him for just a minute. Matthew is earning his Associate of Science degree in Business Administration with a perfect 4.0. He was born in Milledgeville and later moved to Barnesville, where he attended Lamar County High School. He currently lives in Spalding County with his wife, Shelley, his daughters, Amy and Arabella, and his new son, Levi. Matthew served in active duty for the United States Navy from 2004 to 2009. Oh, it gets better. He was stationed in Washington, D.C. as a member of the United States Navy Ceremonial Guard. You can come on over here. And the elite U.S. Navy drill team, performing in U.S., Canada, and Denmark. He's performed over 1,100 funerals and multiple Tomb of the Unknown Soldier joint service ceremonies in Arlington National Cemetery, honoring our fallen service members and their families. He's also performed funeral services for President Gerald Ford at the U.S. Capitol. He was later stationed in the Manama Braun, I probably butchered that, U.S. Navy 5th Fleet as an operations specialist, second class. It goes on and on. His deployment service there totaled over 20 months, supporting the U.S. and Joint Forces and mine warfare operations in various locations around the Arabian Gulf. He served as active U.S. Navy Reserve from 2009 to 2012. Oh yeah. And is stationed on the U.S. Military Sea Life Command Headquarters. He now serves as the Director of Human Resources for Corex Technologies. He's a member of Phi Theta Kappa's National Honor Society, the Society for Human Resources Management, and he's a former executive board member for the Upson-Thomaston Chamber of Commerce. We are so proud of him and so thrilled to give him this recognition.
Congratulations again to all of our award winners here this evening, our educators, adjunct educators, employee of the year, and our distinguished graduating students. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my distinct honor and privilege to introduce to you Mr. Jody Yearwood, Georgia Military College Senior Vice President and Chief Information Officer and Executive Director of GMC's Global Online College. Mr. Jody Yearwood.
Good evening, graduates. On behalf of Lieutenant General William B. Caldwell IV, President of GMC, and the GMC Board of Trustees, I want to congratulate you tonight on your achievements. We are all very proud of your accomplishments. While graduating itself is a major feat, it should be said that your ability to persevere in your educational journey against the backdrop of a global pandemic proves that the tenacity of your will overcome any challenge that you'll face in your future. Tonight, we have a very special guest to speak with you, Michelle Taylor Willis, founder and CEO of Gagnet Media. But before I invite her to the podium, I wanted to give you just a few key facts about her and her career. First, she is an award-winning speaker, media personality, author, and entrepreneur who knows firsthand what it takes to define and achieve success. Second, she has achieved numerous successes throughout her career, being recognized as Atlanta's top 100 women of influence, top business person, and top 25 most extraordinary Atlantans. And finally, she has managed to achieve all of this while also being a wife and a mother to 4 sons, which any of us parents will tell you is a feat in and of itself. So with that, I'd like to welcome Michelle to the podium. Thank you.
There you go. I love that emphatic clap. Keep doing that. Yes. To Director Rock, thank you. Distinguished faculty, staff, and to the graduates, thank you for having me here. You guys are graduating today. Now, you guys know, I know some of your names. You remember our talk, right? All right, so you got to pay attention. So listen, I'm not going to take up a lot of time. Just like the next hour, hour and a half should be it, right, Rod? All right. So here's what I want you to take away over the next 15 minutes or so. When you leave, I want you to think differently, but I really want you to do differently. Because if you do what I tell you to do, you will literally change your life. And this isn't just for the graduates, Chikori. It's for everybody listening, but especially for you guys. Because some of these guys are older and I can't do a lot with those brains. But your brains, I can do stuff with, all right? So I'm going to start off by making a statement, and then I'm going to come back to this statement later. My dad did not grow up in the house with me. When my dad disappeared, he left when I was about 2. And I can count on one hand the amount of times I saw him from that time to the time he died, which was about 11 years ago. Okay? You guys going to remember that? Say, I'm with you, Michelle. Good job. They're graduating, aren't they? These guys are good. All right. There's a book out there that I want you guys to read if you get a chance. It's called Good to Great. Anybody ever heard of that book? Good to Great. All right. And in that book, the author talks about the difference between companies that are great and companies that are good. And that the companies that should be great stay in the good pile because they don't do a few key things that take them from good to great. Okay? So good, by the author's explanation, is the enemy of great. Because people and companies and businesses that are supposed to be great, they settle for what? Good. So if good is the enemy of great, then success is the enemy of significance. So you guys have heard it, right? You're going to be successful. Alexandria, you're going to be a success, right? Jada, success is on the horizon for you. But guess what? Success is not enough. Significance is the realm you will play in so that you don't just change your life, you change the lives of everybody else. The difference between success and significance is success is when you think you've made it. Paris, yeah. You get your good job and you get married and you have those kids and you make the money and you got the car and you become a success, right? You're the first person to graduate in your family for college. Life is good for you, right? That's success. Significance is when you take your success and you use it to change everybody else's lives and potentially the world. And the world is in shambles right now because successful people that should be significant have settled for what?
success. And that's awful, Jessica. It's not a good thing. Because we got a lot of good people being successful, and we don't have a lot of great people being what? Significant. God, give them their degrees right now. I'm impressed. All right. Why do you have to be significant, Michelle? Because that's what you're called to do. You were put on the earth to change it. Right now we're taking from it. You were put, each and every single one of you were put on the earth to do something different. Do you believe that? Then why will some of you end up being successful and not significant? He said, oh, shoot. I saw his lips moving. That's what's going to happen. Significance is when you use your success to empower people. And that's where the impact is made. That's where the distinguished students fall here and the good students fall here. Are you guys with me? Say, I'm with you, Michelle. Do you want to be successful or do you want to be significant? All right, I'm going to tell you how to be significant. And if you do this, it's going to change what? Well, you can say my life then, yeah, because you're talking about yourselves. Okay. All right. 3 things have to happen. The first thing is you have to figure out why you were put on the earth. That's called your purpose or maybe your passion. All right? 99% of people are not living in their purpose or their passion, and that's why they are good at best. How do I find my passion, Michelle? All right, I want you to think about it for a second, okay? Think about what you would do if nobody paid you a dime to do it. Can you think about that, Imani? Where's Imani? There you go. She's like, I knew she was going to call my name. I knew it. Imani, can you think of what you would do if nobody paid you ever to do it? That is probably why you were put on the earth. And here's the beautiful thing about it. People think their passion are hobbies. Your passion is meant for you to monetize it so that you can make money, so that you can use that to influence other people and become significant. Do you hear me? And people don't tap into this passion, so I'm going to tell you, your passion is like a beautiful gift from God. Have you ever given somebody a gift and they really didn't do anything with it? Like you spend all this time, think about it. She's like, yep. You spend all this time in the store and you find the perfect gift for them and you give it to them and you never see them use this gift. Gifts are celebrations. They're meant to add value. Right? If you do nothing with that gift, how does that make the person that gave you the gift feel? Imagine God giving you a gift and you doing nothing with it, but saying, that's just a hobby. I just do it on the side for fun. We've been in that boat, right? Your gift is used to change the world. That's your key to significance. So you find out, one, what that is, all right? And then you start by figuring out what you would do for free. 2, you surround yourselves with people who are smarter than you, who add value to you, who are where you want to be. I'm not saying you ditch all your friends. Keep a couple, like the best ones around. But then you go find the Rod Donahues of the world, and you surround yourself with them and let them help you execute on that passion and on that vision. And they can show you how to monetize it so that you can be what? Significant. The third thing you'll do is you will tell yourself who you are before you become that person. So somebody just shout out what it is you want to be whenever you grow up. All right, I heard nurse practitioner. Was that you, Jessica? Yes? No? Oh, it was close though. What's your name? Chelsea? Oh, no, you said Michelle. I was getting really excited for a second, but okay. Chelsea wants to be a nurse practitioner. So what Chelsea is going to start, is that your passion, do you think? That's what you were put on earth to do? All right. So Chelsea is going to start telling herself, today, I am a nurse practitioner. I'm not going to be a nurse practitioner. I don't want to be. God willing. Guess what? God willing. God is always willing. Are you? All right. So, I am a nurse practitioner. Whatever it is that is your passion, that you were put on the earth to do, that you are going to find a way to monetize and surround yourself with people who are smarter than you to execute on this, that's what you start telling yourself today. Are you with me? Oh, I don't hear. Are you with me? Thank you. Yes. Now the rest of them can get their degrees. Okay. You have to do that because that's going to build your confidence. And I'm telling you, if you don't have confidence, if you don't believe that you're the best at what you do, nobody else will. Ever. So you have to say, I'm the best at what I do. Say it. I'm the best at what I do. And I am a whatever that is. These are overachievers, guys, I'm telling you. All right, if you do those three things, you are on your path to significance. And here is how I can prove it. 6 years ago, I bought my first magazine. I'm hoping that some of you guys have heard of South Fulton Lifestyle Magazine. If you have, clap really loud. Even if you haven't, pretend. Thank you very much. Yes. Now the crowd is with you, graduates. Okay. When I bought that magazine, my business partner said at the time, Michelle, this magazine is going to make you a national household name. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever. And then about a year into the magazine is when I created the name SoFu for South Fulton County, those 8 cities. And I started thinking, maybe I could build this thing out to become a media company. I don't know what that meant, but I just started telling myself, I own a media company. So I wake up every morning and my affirmations, I just added it in. So I started saying, I own a media enterprise. And then about a year after that, I was interviewed on a radio show and the station said, you need your own show, lady. And I had a radio show and I said, are you gonna pay me millions of dollars to come in and do this? He said, no, you're gonna pay yourself. I'm gonna show you somebody smarter than me to show me how to monetize my gift for gab, right? And then I had a radio show. And then a year after that, somebody came and said, you should start selling billboards and offer that in your medium. I don't know anything about billboards. I'll show you. And so then I had 3 different mediums. And then in the middle of quarantine, somebody called me who was a producer that worked with Steve Harvey and other names and said, listen, I just went to this network and I remember I told you should have a TV show. Well, I got one for you. And I was like, oh, you're going to pay me millions of dollars to come and have my own TV show? This millions of dollars thing keeps coming up, right? And they said, no, I'm going to show you how to do it and you can sell ads and grow your media empire. So 6 years later, guess what I have? $1 million, give or take, yeah. Thank you for paying attention. I have a media company because I started telling myself that. And when you start telling yourself that and you're living in your passion, God, the universe, whatever you call it, I call it God, it starts working in your favor. Yes, clap for that. When you are in your passion, when you are in your purpose, when you're surrounding yourself with people that can make this stuff happen, and you start telling yourself who you are before you become that person, the world starts working for you. And stuff falls in your lap. And it doesn't mean you don't have to work. It just means you might work a little smarter and not harder. Are you with me? Say, I'm with you, Michelle. I'm with you, Michelle. So this morning I got a text message, and I told you guys my dad wasn't in my life, right? And I got to tell you, when I was a kid, I was troubled by that because everybody seemed to love me except the man that was put on the earth to protect me and to educate me and to love me more than any other man was supposed to do. Does anybody know what that feels like? Right. And everywhere I went from the time I was I can remember 2, 3 years old to 10 to 18 to 20, everybody's, Michelle, you're going to be successful. Michelle, you're going to be successful. Michelle, you're going to be this. Everybody loved me but my freaking dad, and I could not get in my head why the man who was supposed to love me the most wasn't even there to see all these crazy things happen, right? So this morning I get a text from my cousin who was asking me to sign a copy of her book, my book, and she said, hey, you know, good luck today. Uncle Mike would have been proud. Mike is, guess who? I'm named after him. Get it, Michael Michelle? And I was taken back to the last conversation I had with my father. And I think you guys might be the first people to hear this. And I didn't know it was going to be my last conversation. He called me and he said, listen, I know I haven't been a great dad. And I know I've missed a lot. And I'm sorry about that. This was about 12 years ago, maybe a year before he died. And he said, but I want to give you a Bible verse. And it's Philippians 4:6. Does anybody know that verse? I know you do, Pastor. Be anxious for nothing. And I thought I was in quite a conundrum because I was like, when he said that, that was my favorite Bible verse. Now that's probably the 7th time I talked to my dad, okay? And he said, I want you to remember this verse, Philippians 4:6, be anxious for nothing. And he said, Michelle, you're going to do great things. I'm sorry that I haven't helped you, but I know you're going to be great. That was the last time I talked to my dad before I buried him. He was in the Air Force before I buried him a year later. And then I got the text from my cousin this morning, and she said, Uncle Mike would have been proud. And I text back, it's a shame he's missed all of this. And then immediately I text back, but something tells me he knows. And it dawned on me for the first time ever that maybe my father is better for me in heaven than he ever was here on earth. Because now, clap for that, because now I have really ascended into this significance, and I've had to have some help doing it, right? So, all the graduates, stand up with me. No, this isn't when you walk across the stage. Sorry to bust that bubble. All right, on the count of 3, I want you to say, I am significant. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Do you believe it, or are you just saying that because it's crazy ladies up on stage telling you? I believe it. Say it again. I am significant. And now I want you to say, I am, and insert whatever it is your passion, that you're here to monetize and surround yourself with people that are going to help you execute on this, Marquise. Ooh, you thought you were going to scoot out, didn't you? All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. I am... That was a beautiful garbled mess. Guys, you're meant to do great things. Don't mess this up. Promise me you won't. All right, I'm Michelle Taylor Willis. You can find me at Michelle Taylor Willis on just about everything. Thank you, guys. Congratulations.
Does that fire you up? There you go. Michelle, thank you very much for being out here tonight. I know it's hot, everybody, but that was a very inspirational message from Jim Collins, Good to Great, Journey from Success to Significance. Thank you very much on behalf of all of our graduating students, the staff and faculty. This is presented to you, Michelle Taylor Willis, founder and CEO of Gagnet Media, for her inspired servant leadership and keynote address. GMC Atlanta Metropolitan Region 2021 Commencement Ceremony, Brightmoor Southern Ground Amphitheater, Fayetteville, Georgia, Saturday, June 12th, 2021. Thank you very much, man. And now, the Processional of Dragons.
Good afternoon. Are we ready?
Yes, baby.
Graduates, please stand.
Everything but your cards in the seat. Wait.
By the authority vested in me by the Georgia Military College Board of Trustees and with approval of the faculty, I hereby confer on you the earned degree with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. So, at this time, please move your tassels from the right to the left to signify graduation. So now we have to clap again because it is my privilege to present to you the graduating class of 2021. Okay. Please be seated until the ushers direct you.
All right, let's go.
We didn't want you taking the phone because you're not going to be able to hold it. Got your card. You got your card? Right.
N Huang, Bachelor of Applied Science, Supply Chain Management and Logistics, summa cum laude. Tavares Spell, Bachelor of Applied Science, Supply Chain Management and Logistics, summa cum laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Desmond Janella Wilkins, Bachelor of Applied Science, Business Management, magna cum laude. Jari Anderson, Associate of Science, General Studies, cum laude, Phi Theta Kappa, Distinguished Graduate, Fairburn Campus. Alexandria Abrams, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing. Ja'Cory Adams, Associate of Science, General Studies. Justice Amadou, Associate of Science, General Studies. Kalisha Ania, Associate of Science, General Studies. Angel Archer, Associate of Science, Business Administration. Carlos Arias, Associate of Science, General Studies. Eliud Avrahan, Associate of Science, Business Administration. Dion Barnes, Associate of Science, Communications. Monique Boone, Associate of Science, Social Work. Brianna Brown, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing Cum Laude. Rayana Brown, Associate of Science, Criminal Justice. Roy Brown, Associate of Science, Computer Science. Taylor Brown, Associate of Science, Psychology. Gentry Caldwell, Associate of Science, Sociology. Colby Camara, Associate of Science, Criminal Justice. Tamara Carlisle, Associate of Science, Business Administration, magna cum laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Jada Carney, Associate of Science, General Studies. Evelyn Serta, Associate of Science, General Studies. Mitchell Crowley, Associate of Science, Information Technology. Jemiah Crummy, Associate of Science, General Studies. Jamila Curtis, Associate of Science, General Studies, cum laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Cedriana Davis, Associate of Science, Psychology. Jada Davis, Associate of Science, General Studies. Marie Diedrich, Associate of Science, General Studies, summa cum laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Shantavia Dotson, Associate of Science, General Studies. Victoria Doe, Associate of Applied Science, Allied Health Science. Markiro Dooley, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing. Faith Dorr, Associate of Science, Social Work. Anya K. Downs, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing. Janaya Enright, Associate of Science, General Studies. Dante Ramses Gaitan Castellanos, Associate of Science, Biology, magna cum laude. Chelsea Fulton, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing. Jessica Andrea Denise Gilbert, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing. Kaylin Gisson Tanner, Associate of Science, Social Work. Zaria Glenn, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing. Janelli Gutierrez, Associate of Arts, Sociology. Ashanti Hawkins, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing. Paris Hayes, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing, magna cum laude. Tamani Hendricks, Associate of Science, Computer Science. Gireli Hernandez, Associate of Science, Business Administration, summa cum laude. Francisco Hernandez, Associate of Science, Business Administration. Ariel Hill, Associate of Science, Business Administration. Amari Jalea Hopkins, Associate of Science, General Studies. Samantha Hopkins, Associate of Science, General Studies, summa cum laude. Zanaya Hutchins, Associate of Science, General Studies. Chiana Jackson, Associate of Science, Education, Middle Grades. Nadia Jackson, Associate of Science, General Studies, magna cum laude. Ifele John, Associate of Science, General Studies. Audra Johnson, Associate of Science, General Studies. Brandon Johnson, Associate of Science, Computer Science, Associate of Science, General Studies. Amaya Jones, Associate of Science, General Studies. Jordan Jones, Associate of Science, General Studies. Latasia Jones, Associate of Science, General Studies. Michael Jones, Associate of Arts, Education, Early Childhood. Trinity Jones, Associate of Science, Psychology. Anthony Jordan, Associate of Science, Computer Science, military veteran. Marquise Jordan, Associate of Science, Biology, U.S. military veteran. Reginald Kimson III, Associate of Science, General Studies, cum laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Maisha Knight, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing. Akoele Kumonji, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing, magna cum laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Jennifer D. Lane, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing, magna cum laude. Roberto Leon Maciel, Associate of Science, Computer Science. Joshua Leonard Jr., Associate of Science, Paralegal Studies, Associate of Science, General Studies. Paradise Love, Associate of Science, General Studies. Imani Lowe, Associate of Science, Psychology. Jeanette McIver, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing. Chonda Mitchell, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing, Magna Cum Laude, Phi Theta Kappa, U.S. military veteran. Jasmine Mobley, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing. Alexis Mosley, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing. Rehana Muhammad, Associate of Science, Business Administration. Monisha Murray, Associate of Science, Social Work. Kalia Nelson, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing. Tiffany Nguyen, Associate of Science, General Studies. Sage Odds, Associate of Science, Criminal Justice, Magna Cum Laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Modupe Odele, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing, Associate of Science, Cyber Security. Shemaroke Obana, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing. Cameron Osborne, Associate of Arts, Studio Arts. Daisy Perdomo Colling, Associate of Science, General Studies, Cum Laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Faith Pierre, Associate of Science, General Studies, Cum Laude. Jelani Pittman, Associate of Science, General Studies. Jalen Posey, Associate of Science, Paralegal Studies, Summa Cum Laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Irina Quintana Carreon, Associate of Science, Criminal Justice, Cum Laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Vicente Quiroz Cruz, Associate of Science, Business Administration, Magna Cum Laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Jacoby Rand, Associate of Science, General Studies. Victoria Rivera, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing. Kimberly Rodriguez, Associate of Science, General Studies. Vincent Rome, Associate of Science, General Studies. Angela Ruiz, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing, Magna Cum Laude. Oluwatobi Samaye, Associate of Science, Computer Science. Roberto Sanchez Rabia, Associate of Science, General Studies. Zoe Sanders, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing, Associate of Science, General Studies. Kayla Savane, Associate of Science, General Studies. Veronica Shawaga, Associate of Science, General Studies. Precious Shutan, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing.
Go ahead, Precious.
Emmanuel Skillings, Associate of Science, Business Administration, U.S. military veteran. Brianna Smith, Associate of Science, General Studies. Inyana Smith, Associate of Science, General Studies. Kayla Sneeze, Associate of Science, Psychology, Associate of Science, General Studies. Jordan St. Louis, Associate of Science, General Studies. Hassan Stewart, Associate of Science, Information Technology. Linda Stewart, Associate of Science, General Studies. Isatu C. Savane, Associate of Science, General Studies, summa cum laude. Shannon Teasley, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing, Associate of Science, General Studies. Cameron Tinney, Associate of Science, Mathematics. Nia Terrell, Associate of Science, General Studies.
Go, baby, go, go!
Shanitrius Thomas, Associate of Applied Science, General Studies, U.S. Military Veteran. Chaz Utley Mitchell, Associate of Science, Business Administration. Brittany Ponsavana Van, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing, Magna Cum Laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Nora Vasquez, Associate of Science, General Studies, Cum Laude. Paola Vasquez Zavala, Associate of Science, General Studies, Cum Laude. Maritza Villanueva, Associate of Arts, Paralegal Studies, Cum Laude. Anasia Villarreal, Associate of Science, Biology. Joshua Wallace, Associate of Arts, Business Administration, Associate of Science, General Studies, Cum Laude. Christina Waller, Associate of Science, General Studies, summa cum laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Deja Walls, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing. Tasia Ward, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing. Akila Waters, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing. Madison Webb, Associate of Science, Communications, summa cum laude. Robin Whittington, Associate of Science, Psychology, cum laude. Ajani A.J. Williams, Associate of Science, General Studies. Lauren Williams, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing, Associate of Science, General Studies. Shannon Willis, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing, magna cum laude, Phi Theta Kappa.
We love you, Shannon.
Roche Wilson, Associate of Science, General Studies, summa cum laude. Princess Woshi, Associate of Science, General Studies. Jeffrey F. Jackson II, Associate of Science, General Studies, Distinguished Graduate, Stone Mountain Campus. Ami Della Yilere Ephemera, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing. Savion Brooks Albert, Associate of Science, General Studies. Denise A. Dunn Frederick, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing, Associate of Science, General Studies. Kaya L. Ezel, Associate of Science, Sociology. Tawanza Farmer, Associate of Science, General Studies. Malik J. Forbes, Associate of Science, Business Administration. Brady A. Ford, Associate of Science, General Studies, U.S. military veteran. Jennifer Joseph, Associate of Arts, Pre-Nursing. Kashana J. Lee, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing. Nitoisha Monique Lewis Jameson, Associate of Science, Social Work. Noor Muhammad, Associate of Science, Psychology. Jira Carnplay Morris, veteran, posthumously awarded the Associate of Applied Science in General Studies, being accepted by his mother, Janet Morris. Nolly, Associate of Arts, Pre-Nursing. Kiara Janice Peacock, Associate of Science, Psychology, cum laude. Felicia Ramona Rajaram, Associate of Science, Social Work. Reagan Robinson, Associate of Science, General Studies, cum laude.
That's my baby. Yeah. That's my girl. Yeah. Love you, baby.
Tony Lance Saylor Jr., Associate of Science, General Studies, U.S. Military Veteran. Crystal Shirley, Associate of Science, General Studies, cum laude. Joya Smith, Associate of Science, Communications. Courtney Alexandria Tate, Associate of Science, Psychology. Chris Ann J. Wells, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing.
Graduates, please stay with us until the end of the graduation, okay, please? Stay with us.
Shamaya Lanice Williams, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated and wait. Everyone has worked hard to get to this point, and we need to give everyone the same respect. Please be seated. You will have plenty of time to take pictures of your graduate, but please let everyone have the opportunity to see their graduate walk across the stage. Edwin Arek Hernandez Romo, Associate of Arts, Psychology, Associate of Arts, Mathematics, summa cum laude, Phi Theta Kappa, distinguished graduate. Jonathan Aguilar, Associate of Science, Psychology, magna cum laude. Tesla Shanice Alford, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing. Ayana Joy Bradley, Associate of Science, General Studies. Cashron Brown, Associate of Science, Psychology. Jonathan Adam Brownfield, Associate of Science, Sociology, summa cum laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Emily Baresh, Associate of Science, Business Administration. Shamika Coleman, Associate of Science, General Studies. Brent Cousins, Associate of Science, General Studies. Kamari Najee Coleman, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing. Ariana Destiny Davis, Associate of Science, General Studies. Lee Asha Dickens, Associate of Science, General Studies. Caitlin McHale Edens, Associate of Science, General Studies. Carrington Sidney Estrada, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing. Jordan Fembro, Associate of Science, General Studies. Olivia Green, Associate of Science, General Studies. Amina Gould, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing, Cum Laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Deja Gabrielle Heron, Associate of Science, General Studies. Demacia N. Howard, Associate of Science, General Studies, summa cum laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Imania Elise Jackson, Associate of Science, General Studies. Demarius Gerard Julian, Associate of Science, Information Technology. Shayna Nicole Kelly, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing. Christopher Glenn Knight, Associate of Science, Sociology. Dawn Cowanhaven, Associate of Arts, Business Administration, summa cum laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Fatima Lopez, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing, cum laude. Paul Maripau, Associate of Science, Mathematics, magna cum laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Nicole Mathis, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing. Matthew William McGuire Higgins, Associate of Science, Education, Early Childhood. Christina Mendoza, Associate of Science, General Studies. Victoria Ashley Merritt, Associate of Science, Information Technology. Fatima Mondezer, Associate of Science, Business Administration.
Big Hagen in the building. Stop playing.
Shayna Yvette Moore, Associate of Science, Sociology. Jasmine Choma Ohaya, Associate of Arts, Psychology. Ashley Nicole Orange, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing. Olamide Adedayo Modepeo Asalia, Associate of Science, General Studies. Wanda Potts, Associate of Science, Social Work. Kazaya Christian Paget, Associate of Arts, Business Administration. Hannah Elizabeth Ramirez, Associate of Science, General Studies, cum laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Joy Bell Remy, Associate of Science,
Yes, ma'am.
Nursing.
You did that! Okay! Yes, ma'am! Look at that smile!
Rodney Sharon Sampson III, Associate of Science, General Studies, magna cum laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Agata Annabelle Sarkis Tunau, Associate of Arts Communication, magna cum laude. Joshua Malik Sheffield, Associate of Science, General Studies. Christy Sullivan, Associate of Science, Paralegal Studies, magna cum laude. Elizabeth Ann Swank, Associate of Science, Communication. Tiana Taylor, Associate of Arts Education, Middle Grades, summa cum laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Anicia Don Shea Taylor, Associate of Science, General Studies, magna cum laude. Robert Thompson Jr., Associate of Science, Business Administration. Sonietta Lynn Valentine, Associate of Science, General Studies. Jose Ventura Quiroa, Associate of Science, Computer Science.
There go my boy. We made it.
Gracie Wanamaker, Associate of Science, General Studies, cum laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Shamika Sade Wilson, Associate of Arts Education, Middle Grade. Tamara Trenice Young, Associate of Science, Pre-Nursing, summa cum laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Matthew Lasseter, Associate of Science, Business Administration, summa cum laude, Phi Theta Kappa, U.S. Military Veteran, Distinguished Graduate. Tyrell Bankston, Associate of Science, General Studies. Caleb Luke Fowler, Associate of Arts, General Studies, summa cum laude, Phi Theta Kappa. Talasia Jemiah Murphy, Associate of Science, General Studies, cum laude. Adam Vaughn, Associate of Arts, General Studies, summa cum laude, Phi Theta Kappa. The most important graduate, last but not least, Charlicia Washington, Associate of Science, General Studies.
Good evening, graduates. On behalf of Georgia Military College Alumni Association and as your Alumni Association President, I am honored to stand before you today and offer my congratulations to the class of 2021. You've achieved an amazing milestone this year through everything that you've been through. Graduation is always a time of celebration, of hard work, the ability to persevere, and dedicated focus on your goal, which you did. This has never been more evident than during this challenging academic year. You have each revealed the depth of your character and your willingness to adapt and overcome. You have faced challenges unlike any other GMC student before you, and your commitment to excellence will be a unique part of the legacy of your alma mater. You entered this commencement ceremony as a student, and you now leave as a Georgia Military College alumnus. You now share a special bond with more than 26,000 Georgia Military College alumni from across the nation and around the world. You are a key individual part of this greater community. The transition from student to graduate makes you a partner in the future of your alma mater. I want to encourage you to become active and involved in your association. The Alumni Association only works if you're invested. Never forget that the future of GMC rests with each and every one of you. Now graduates, please stand. Graduating class of 2021, you are now officially inducted into the Georgia Military College Alumni Association with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereunto. You receive tonight your GMC alumni pins as you walk across the stage today. I encourage you to wear it with pride. Ladies and gentlemen, please give our newest Georgia Military College alumni a round of applause. You can sit. You can sit. Class of 2021, as you move forward in your academic and life pursuits, I hope you will always remember the time you spent here at GMC and the tie that now binds you to Georgia Military College forever. And in words of Michelle, what are we seeking? Significance. Significance. Congratulations again, class of 2021. We are very proud of you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand now for the benediction and remain standing for the Processional of Faculty.
All right, graduates. Ready to go? Ready to celebrate? Ready to become significant? All right, let's pray. Father, we thank you today for this time of celebration. We thank you for every graduate that is standing here before us. We thank you for the family that came out, the loved ones, the neighbors, the friends that hang out with us tonight in the weather that you provided. As we leave this place, but we never leave your presence, let us remember the memories, the connections that were made at Georgia Military College. We started, we persevered, and we achieved. We are now graduates. So now be with us in our endeavors, wherever our journey may take us, to the workplace, entrepreneurs, wherever, further in our education. Just know this, with GMC, we started, and with God, all things are possible. So today, we truly can go anywhere. In Jesus' name. Amen. Amen.
Gentlemen, please allow for the Processional of Faculty. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our ceremony. Thank you for attending tonight's momentous occasion. Thank you for your enduring support to Georgia Military College. We can start here, go anywhere, travel safely, have a wonderful weekend. Thank you.